Okay, I see that people are still joining, but we can start in the meantime. We are here today with Veronica, who will be with us, fortunately just for 45 minutes, but she will explain us a bit how was her experience in building up her own company and all the advice and tips we need in order to move and to learn how to do that, because it's not easy. It's quite challenging. So I hope you will enjoy the session. Veronica, if you hear me, the floor is yours.
Perfect. Thank you, Luigi. Hi everyone, hope you're doing great today. So the idea is just going a little bit through who I am, a little bit explain my curriculum, where I live right now, etc. I'm Italian originally, but I live outside since a lot of years now. So the idea is to explain a little bit about me, to explain a little bit of the company that is Mo Technology, that I started, in end of 2016, and today obviously it's much bigger and goes much beyond what I expected at the beginning. And please, since we are not that many people, I would suggest to you, to ask me any question you might have, or any details. If you want to ask me in English, Spanish, or Italian, any language is okay for me. And it would be great, so we can have a more interactive question. I know that at your stage, you might have thousands of, question about any type of thing. So please just let me know. So I will share my screen. So just give me a few seconds. Do you see the screen?
Yes, perfect.
Good, perfect. So we will have 30 minutes. So I would really suggest you ask me question, because it's going to be much more interactive and I could address whatever you wanna know. So a little bit. So the idea of half an hour at least is to tell you a little bit, first of all, about my journey. So where I am today, when I started, and where I am today. Second, we go for the Worthy Odyssey. This part is one of my favorite one, because we really go and explain what are the main things you should think about when you create a new company, your own company, and the main things that you need to know. 3, some conclusion, and 4, I have some recommendation for all of you in case at a certain point you want to become an entrepreneur. So about me. So I'm, as I was saying, I'm Italian. Today I'm 38 years old. I live in Colombia. Originally, I studied in Bocconi, and then I studied in ESADE, Master of Science, and I did a double degree moving as well as studying in Copenhagen. After that, I decided to actually move in consulting, and I started my career in the consulting industry. I've been working for different consulting company. I started actually in Spain, working for Europraxis at that point in time. Today it's called Indra Consulting. And then I moved to Bain & Company, Delta Partners, and I have to say that I'm really, happy to have decided at that point to join the consulting industry, because it's a little bit the type of structure, a mindset that you need to have to build your own company. So you need to be very organizing, multitasking, and definitely persistent, because nothing goes exactly as you're expecting. I have to say that in my consulting journey, it was great, because I actually lived in many different countries. So I moved out of Italy probably, before finishing the studies. And then I did, more than a year in South Africa, Argentina. I lived in Brazil, in Venezuela, in Prague, in London. So I decided to focus on one specific industry that at that point was telecommunication, media, and technology. And then to live and to get to know, a little bit the world outside. About me, I also want to tell you, I love kite surfing, and I became mom a month ago. So after that point in time, that the consulting, I moved to MasterCard. In MasterCard, I was already here in Colombia, because I landed in Colombia in 2013 to stay for a project for a year, a couple of years, and I'm still here. So life doesn't go exactly as you're thinking. at your age, but let me say that, really, really happy. And I joined MasterCard I joined MasterCard, and in MasterCard, I was really focusing on financial inclusion, and I get to know much more the payment worlds. I was in charge of creating all the strategy for Caribbean banks and Colombia and Peru. And on top, I was on a transversal way, I was dealing with the digital practice. After that, especially in that, but due especially to my previous experience where I was living in South Africa, Cuba, etc., in many emerging countries, I found out, one of the biggest problems that there is, that today there is more than 2 billion people around the world. They don't have access to a formal credit solution. And why it's important to tell you about the identification of the problem, because the identification of a problem is exactly how you start your entrepreneurship journey. So you need to identify something that you want to solve. And in my case, I said, I have seen and I have lived in countries where people didn't have access, not even to $1 credit or loan. And the main reason of that is because sometimes, the credit scoring was too rigid. Second, the lending system was very centralized in banking. Today is a little bit different because definitely fintechs have helped this to change. And the third thing is that, to request a credit, the process to go presentially in the bank, etc., was actually very conventional credit request process. So at that point, the problem was clear, but in order to create something, you also need, someone to join and to believe in your journey, in what you want to create. And at that point in time, I met with one of my friends, another Italian friend, completely different from me, because he lived more than 20 years in US, especially in Los Angeles. He was focusing on entrepreneurship. So after university, he started his entrepreneurship journey, building more than 10 companies. In my case, I was more in the corporate world. And so we joined, we understood both passions, both ambition, and we decided at that point that, we had complementary capabilities. So in my case, it was very structured. I had all the consulting background, and in Paolo's case, he has all the know-how how to build a new company. So we put ourselves together, and that's exactly where the dream comes true. In my case, I wanted to be an entrepreneur since I was little. I still remember when I was telling to my mom and my dad that at a certain point I will have my own company. And then what happened is that, at this point, I decided to take the step and to become an entrepreneur. And obviously, I think that there are a couple of things that are really important. Number one is to take advantage of the networking. In my case, today, I still have mentors of other people that have been working with me or have been studying with me, etc. So they are still, has been very important. And second, it's also important to have an idea very clear. So identify the problem, but as well to have the idea. A worthy odyssey. So now let's go much deeper into what it means to create something. So first of all, I always say, doesn't matter the ambition that you have. You can tell me, Vero, I want to open a small pub or whatever it is close to my apartment, or I wanna build a big company like Mo. I mean, it's not yet big, but let's say it's moving to that direction. It doesn't matter what really the ambition is, but you always need to get ready for it. Okay. And the third thing to get ready, you need to know your market. Okay. And what does it mean knowing the market is that you need to know what you want, what's your mission, what's your vision. You need to have a business plan, and you need to do a market research. So if you wanna, in my case, I need to know exactly what it means to have or to build a company into the credit side of the business, and to really understand, competitors, to really understand what my clients would like to receive in terms of services, and a little bit as well to test the idea. So as I was saying before, it doesn't matter the type of business that you want to create, but you always need to get ready. So the people that are just jumping into, they don't last that much because they have the basic of the business are not shaped or are not ready. So how I did it? Okay, so first of all, I told you, so the problem was clear. Second, I said, I want to use technology to empower or to include more people on the credit side. I tested the idea, talking to many different people in the industry, and I wanted to position more as the alternative and innovative credit score in fintech, offering for financial and non-financial institutions a credit as a service model. Credit as a service is a little bit a mix between software as a service business model plus credit side. So easy. I was saying this seems easy, but obviously it took some time for me to get it to write down what my mission was, what my vision was, to get the feedback from the clients, to get the understanding of the competition, and definitely say, now we are ready. Now, once these are ready, you also need to know that at the beginning, you're going to lose money. Okay, you're probably not going to have, what you study that you say, okay, I need to build the top line minus the bottom line. You need to be positive. That's true. But in case of startup and fintech, and in case you have to test your idea, at the beginning, no one is going to pay you that much if you don't have to prove that you are a success. So you need to get ready to do some money. You need to invest. And what I always say, that what is important, resilience, and to adapt to different environments, to different things, it's a must. It's not a nice to have. If you don't adapt yourself and you're not resilient enough, this is it's a difficult journey. Second, important, don't be afraid of change. Change is the law of life, and is definitely the law of any type of fintech or new company. So change means change the pricing, change the product, change the clients that you're willing to, what you want to achieve. I mean, everything could be changed, but the most important thing they always say, what you cannot change is what you want to achieve. So that's why at the beginning, when you start, you need to have very clear what you want to achieve. What's your mission and vision? That cannot be changed, but everything else, yes, can. Okay, and don't worry. I mean, that's normal. Now more as 5 years, and before getting to this point, I've changed the product several times. I'm still very happy. We're still addressing the same topic and the same challenge, the same problem, but in a different way. Now, remember, first, you will have uncertainty, but you still need to have a business plan, guys. Important. You need to size the opportunity. You need to convince someone else to put some money into your company. And you need to say, I believe that this is going to work because my addressable market is 10 million people or 10 million companies or whatever it is, but you need to size the opportunity. Second, remember, resilience is your loyal friend. So you need to have an entrepreneurial mindset. So you need to iterate always with your team, but also with your mind and with everyone that you have close to you. Second, you are ready to change that the color that you're using is not good enough, that the pricing you're putting to the market, no one is willing to pay or is too low, that you wanna change the brand, wherever. So change is a must. Don't be afraid of failure. Failure is part of the journey. So I know that it's this is something that everyone is saying. I don't want to say that we are all gonna fail. That's not the objective. But I think that sometimes if you say at the beginning, I will achieve $500,000 in revenue year 3. If in year 3 you didn't achieve it, it's a sort of failure for me. But at the end of the day, it could happen. So don't be afraid of it because it's normal. And remember, get ready to lose money at the beginning. And why this is a very, very important suggestion is because in my case, I was coming from a corporate journey, and I was not ready to this. So at the beginning, I don't want to say depressed, that's not the right word, but definitely for me, it was very challenging to understand that that was normality. So I think it's important to say so that you leave you stand with entrepreneurial mindset, that you also need to understand that at a certain point you will lose some money. 3, remember, shape your character. So mission, vision, values, important. So you can evolve, adapt, and change. Everything can change as well, the market needs, etc. But your essence has to be maintained, and you need to be resilient enough to be clear what you want to achieve, and don't be so you're not going to achieve anything in 1 year. I just always say, Amazon to become what it is today, it took more than 20 years. A software as a service company typically needs at least 5 years to become positive. So there are some metrics that you need to know, and you don't have, even if today typically everyone is coming to me, and today I'm doing a lot of session with students, and they want to become an entrepreneur, and they're telling me, I want to test everything in 2 months. Guys, no. That's it would be an ideal world, but it's a little bit utopia to think that you're going to achieve whatever you want to achieve in 2 months. So it's a matter of time, patience, be focused, remember always what you want to achieve. In terms of, look at this, we started, we kept the same type of what you want, but look, we started with this horrible logo, more with the dollar size. We changed it. We changed the color because of the market. We changed the type of the presentation that we had done. Look, at the end of the day, we changed a lot up to today. Today, we finally have a product, different, a modular products. And why it's modular? Because my client could actually choose whatever they want. If they want to have just one thing or more than one, so whatever they want. So in this case, we are selling, data solution, scoring solution, and lending solution. To be honest, today, our main product is the MoManage, okay, because it's the loan management platform that we offer to our clients, is our main product today. But as you can see, we managed to put together everything around the credit. And I go to my clients saying, this is the offer that I have, please, let's see what you want. And we discuss about everything, each detail on each of these solutions. And when you go to the MoManage that I told you is important. So I want to tell you that we patent this technology. This is extremely important because it gives to my client an understanding that we actually invest in to create something innovative and something that it's not something that you can find everywhere else. Today, what I showed you in the previous lines is all under the umbrella, which is called MoManage, and everything else goes below. So we help our clients to, we enable actually our clients to offer any type of credit product to their final user. And when I say any type of credit product, it could be a buy now, pay later, or it could be a merchant cash advance, or it could be any type of credit. And we manage both the back end, credit origination, servicing, and collection, and as well the front end with some tools that are totally digital that our clients are using, to offer the credit to their user. Our objective is to launch any type of new client in less than 2 months. Now, that's a little bit the beginning. Now, how I moved from a pure startup to a scale up. Today, we are scaling up the business. So last year, we closed with $2.6 million in revenue. So we are becoming, we are bigger. And so now the next thing that investors and also myself, which today I'm the CEO of the company, on top of being the founder, are asking me, how do you scale it up? How do you go to $2.6 million in revenue to 10 million? So number one, you see that you grow because people are growing. So we started in 2 people, myself and Paolo, the other co-founder, and today we are 130 movers. So as you can see, we've been growing very fast. We have more than 30 clients in our footprint. And we work in 9 different countries in Latin America. So our main focus so far has been Latin America and America as well. We have projects as well in US, but we are willing soon to move to Europe with a couple of clients that today we have, and they have operation in Europe. And when you look into, where are we present in Latin America? It's, sorry for that. it's different countries and different clients. And we have some big clients work with us, both banks and no banks, with typically a regional contract, because one of the things that our clients like the most is that we actually use our technology in multi-country, multi-currency, etc., etc. Now, something that I want to tell you guys, you need to trust in you, invest in you. So it's more, no one is, I always say, no one is going to give you a cent or 50 cents if you want, if you don't show them that you are trusting in yourself. So you know that you're going to create something different and that you're going to be successful. If you don't trust in that, definitely no one else is going to invest in you. So build something. You need to believe in what you're doing. That's super important. You don't have to become arrogant. That's something else. But definitely you need to know that what you're creating is something that is going to build value for your investors for the future. And 4 things are important when you build, a new company. Think about, number 1, technology. So use technology. Technology is everywhere today. So technology is very important. You need to be aware of it and you need to use it. Second, partnership. So we are in a collaborative model, right? So if you want to build whatever you want to build, think about it's your core, and whatever is not your core, just partner with someone else who is much better than you in doing this specific piece. So in my case, when you talk about, Mo, I did some commercial partnership like with MasterCard, and I also did some partnership with a small piece on the credit journey because like fraud system. Mo never builds our own score, but we use the score of someone else. Is Mo able to do a fraud system? Probably yes, but it doesn't make any sense to build by yourself because someone else can do it. Okay, free infrastructure, create the right infrastructure, and infrastructure, I mean the basis to create your business. Use Amazon Web Service, use everything that you need to create the right infrastructure. Don't think about today, but think a little bit about the future, because once you create the right infrastructure, everything is gonna go, okay? Then another important thing is funding. Guys, obviously, in some cases, some of us have their own money to do it, but definitely in some other case, you need to ask investors to believe in you and to put you some money. So I think this one is important to think about because since the beginning, you need to have a very clear funding strategy in case you're gonna need it, okay? Good. Then apart, these are the basics, but I want to give you a little bit more detail. When you look about technology, remember, and I just put some of the technology side. So technology is everywhere, is part of the everyday life. That's why it's so important. And I'm just gonna tell you more. Doesn't matter what you're working, there is technology and innovation, even in a small pub across the street. And everywhere you can use and you can innovate. So be aware of it, okay? And in my case, I decided to patent our solution. And this was key for success because my clients are today, value very much that we have been innovating and also putting an extra effort, which is patenting our solution. In terms of alliances, partnership, remember, you can do, as I like very much this sentence, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Remember it. So focus, you need to get the focus on your core business. Everything which is else, remember, partner with someone who is going to be better than you because doesn't distract you for your core. And we, in our case, with the very global alliance, I just mentioned here one of the partners that we have, which is MasterCard, and we deal with them using their network, a commercial partnership. We have part of MasterCard Engage and as well on the Startup program. So it's a 360 partnership that works very well and gives us a lot of value. Infrastructure. Remember, investment in know-how and create the basis. So in my case, some of the certification that you see here, it's not that Mo wanted to be ISO and PCI, but what was important is these are the bases to create the future, the business of the future. And this is very, very important. Funding. Here, one good advice. Remember, you need to wait for the right moment to really ask for new funds in the company, because you need to remember that there is some dilution in place. So you need to find the right moment to do the raise, so you make sure that you're actually don't dilute yourself very much. Sometimes this is a very difficult matter, but you need to think about, and it's important to have it, to think about. And remember, what you have in the balance on one side, you say yourself, because it happened to me at the beginning. I say, shall I raise $10 million at the beginning, or shall I raise 2 and wait a year that my business is going to grow, so I will raise another amount? The only thing is that if you do the second, which is the best strategy you can ever have, is definitely that you need to dedicate time always to the funding, from the funding phase of the business. Scale up. How do you show that you're actually scaling up? On one side, it's for revenues. On the other side, the main KPIs that I showed, like number of people, number of clients, etc. But definitely, you also need to go beyond whatever you want to achieve. No? So in my case, we decided we want to enter new markets. So every year we said, okay, today we are in 7 countries, but we want to get into Brazil. So this year that we are today, we want to get bigger in Brazil, and we want to develop more solutions. So that's always important. Remember, since we are in innovation is part of our day-to-day, we always need to innovate and create new solutions and develop new things. So you need to think and to go always beyond everything, because you can achieve, whatever you want. Important. So here a little bit what I told you so far, and now some of the big conclusion for you that you need to know. Remember, always, if you are young, you have a lot of enthusiasm, and this is part of the success. But you need also to be aware, change is the king. So get ready to have constant change. In my case, I was not ready. I have to be honest, because I was in a very, corporate life. I had my team. I was growing. I had my perfect career. I was good. So my boss was, pushing me for always be better. And at a certain point, you say, okay, you go to a startup, you create something where, you go up and down. So up, at a certain point, you're the most happy person in the world, but the 2 days after, you go down because something doesn't go as expected. So it's changing the key, and you have constant change, anything, but be ready for it. And it's amazing, at the end, you just also challenge yourself every time. And I think it's super, it's a cool journey. Second, surround yourself with the right people. So partners and team, important. You don't need to have someone that thinks like you. No, you don't need that type of person. You need someone who is totally different, with a different background, with different experience, with a different know-how that can really bring value to the table. And 3, remember, in my case, as I was saying at the beginning, thanks as well to my past experience in consulting. But remember, even if you haven't worked in consulting, doesn't matter. Structure is important. So you need to be structured. You need to know the number. You need to know everything that you want to achieve, because without any structure, you just have an idea, but you need to get to that idea. So implementation part is also important. And last thing that I want to share with you, some recommendation, important, because I think at your age as well, you need to know that. Believe in yourself, guys. No, as I was saying before, no one is going to believe in you if you don't believe first in yourself. And also talk to people that believe in you, they believe in you, so they can push you forward. Second, follow your dream, important. So I wanted to be an entrepreneur. At the beginning, I was extremely scared. You can't imagine, but when I wanted to start, the company was created. And then I said, I need to leave MasterCard. And in MasterCard, my career was very clear. I was getting into the leadership team. I had a very clear path. So imagine imagine what it means to say, okay, ciao to my defined career and move to something that is uncertain. But it's a dream, you know, so follow it. If you want to create something for the good and building something around credit, be aware, surround yourself with the right people and do it. Have a clear objective. So don't be, I always say, you can have optimistic objective, pessimistic, the one in the middle. You have different type of scenarios, but it's important that you have objectives. So, and measure yourself again, objective, and focus on that. So if you say, I want to launch a credit solution by this year, make everything possible to make this a reality, you know. So objectives are clear, also with a date. So don't leave it open that you don't know when you're going to achieve it, but have it, you know, by the end of this year, these are going to 3 things that you want to achieve. And every month you measure against them. Test the idea and adjust it over time. Test the idea. So ask people, what do you think about? Do you need it? So go and do some focus group, and even go to clients that you have, people that surround yourself, etc., to ask opinion. Find the right partners and the best team. It's key. I mean, I wouldn't be here today if without my team. My team is amazing. You know, I can't live without them. You know, and Mo wouldn't be today where it is without them. And don't give up, guys. Enjoy the journey. It's a difficult journey. If you want to become an entrepreneur, it's not easy. Get ready to up and down, as I was telling before, but don't give up at the beginning. You know, if in 3 months everything doesn't go as expected, change it, adjust it, modify something, but enjoy the journey because it's amazing. And when you achieve good things, it's very satisfactory for you. So I think it's just a journey. Don't waste money, and surround yourself with people that they know that have more experience than you. At a certain point, I think that in my case, I will say I can do it, but in reality, you have people that can help you in defining the strategy, in defining where you want to be, in defining where you want to start, etc. So enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey is the last thing that I want to tell you, because it's very good. And if you don't enjoy, probably it's not the right path, okay, for you. Good. This is a little bit what I wanted to share with you today. We have, 5 minutes for question, guys. Please ask me, you can ask me some question. I really enjoy to share my know-how with you. Feel also free. Luigi has my email. So in case you don't want to ask me question now, you want to add 10 minutes, 15 minutes with me to ask me more question, you can send me an email. I'm always open. And today I do this one with a lot of students in Colombia, in the US, and as well in Italy. So please feel totally open to ask me any question now, or just to ask me question by email or whatever you want. Okay. I suppose I was very clear in my explanation.
Yeah, it was definitely clear, but it was also really interesting, and I would have expected some question, but I think today the crowd is a bit quiet. So if we don't have any questions coming up either in the chat or live at the moment, we can also let you go, Veronica, but before
I will
everybody...
write here anyway for all of you my email, so you have it in case some of you want to ask me some question, but contact me and they can say any language. So if you don't feel comfortable in English, you can write me in Spanish or Italian. There is no problem at all.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And I have also another info for our participant. I will kindly ask you to fill the form of the evaluation of the Learning Garage to improve our project and to improve the next session. So I will leave it here in the chat, but you will receive also an email in the upcoming days with the link for filling up the form. Please fill it up, especially if you want a certificate. It's mandatory to fill the evaluation form in order to have a certificate. And yeah, if you would like to have a certificate, please let me know, so we will prepare it and hand it to you. Thank you very much. Thank you again, Veronica.
Thank you to all of you. It was a pleasure.
And yes. Okay. Guys, thank you very much for this small journey of the Learning Garage. I hope you enjoyed the activities. If not, let us know in the evaluation form. And stay tuned, because in the end of June, we will also prepare another event, the Talents Match, where you can put into practice the teachings that you and all sorry, everything you learned during the Learning Garage. The Talents Match will give you the opportunity to meet recruiters from companies in Italy and in Europe to test your skills. So stay tuned. I will send you an email with the information. And once again, if you have time, please fill the evaluation form. Ciao, and see you soon.